Crazy, I've already got a stressed man here. Now,
It says, hey, do you guys?
He's not even looking at Zola. He's like, yo.
yeah, there's like, boss.
He's like, yo.
Gents, yes, obviously, the game is getting. There's more money being put in the game. So obviously, I think, but I wasn't around. No one in soccer started like this, where obviously there's gamblers involved. So now it's an art with soccer to dive, like
Okay.
it's an art. So you put a step over, you go on the side. Any contact, you dive, you get a penalty. Then it's part of the game. And Gogo say accept you as part of the game. I think back then Barcelona used to practice that. I'm joking. But so my worry is
Rugby's getting there.
Rugby's getting there.
Yeah,
So if I'm at obviously you have to tackle low. So I'm trying to get the ball from you and I go in. But if I don't go low, what are your first instinct when as a guy who's protecting the ball? You're like, do some full and where do I hit you? In the head or But who's at fault here? Dim, because I didn't go low. It's one thing if you're going low, then use Diego and lead with the arm. But I get the yellow card because I was like,
and I get you, good team. And
but
and this is
leading with an arm isn't. It's one thing. But leading with an arm, yeah.
and there's leading like this, there's leading like this.
That's
there's
wrong.
me
That
protecting.
was the Bulls one.
Then me coming in. Then when you catch the ball, until they teach you to fend and all those things. And it's I get what you're saying in terms of, but what's irritating me is that now all of a sudden everything can be a yellow card.
Yeah, so I know Swanke, we're trying to protect players' welfare, but Ngoku, what if I'm playing against their best player at 12, I'm playing at 12, I was like, don't worry guys, on the 7th minute, I'm going straight to that guy, I'm leading with my head, but I know he's going to do this, and then I milk it, I roll around, pull a namer, he gets a red card, a yellow card.
No, it's not that simple. I think what the difference between rugby and soccer is, in the game of rugby, the TV ref came way earlier.
Yeah.
Right? The TV ref came way earlier. A lot of our decisions are based on TMO in the game, as it is now, right? In football, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Right? The dive was a thing. The dive was a thing because it's the referee's opinion, right? He gives it there and then it's a penalty. You look in slow motion, the guy missed his foot by this much, but it stands. In rugby, you don't have that. So the tough line is obviously the player safety aspect of it and the keeping the game a fair contest part, right? That's the challenge. But I think it's easier with the rugby because you've got the TMO so involved. It slows the game down, yes, the repeated slow-mos and all that kind of stuff, but I think the dive element of it is gone. My annoyance personally is this new story that New Zealand is pushing. I would say New Zealand because they only need to talk about it.
Yeah.
With the red card, the 20-minute red card, and the guy being replaced after 20 minutes, right? Yeah, he's out for the game. The normal laws will take place in terms of what the hearings and whatnot. But for me, it takes away the aspect of a game of there's rules that you should maintain. So your example is perfect. 12-12, that's it. I'm going to go straight through his chest. He's going to do this. We're going to get a red. They can replace him in 20. It doesn't help. It doesn't help us look after those things that you want, which is keeping people safe, right? Because if you can do stupid stuff and get banned for 4 weeks and come back and that be it, then hey, who's going to say you're going to miss 3 months a year?
So
Because there's a lot of rugby being played right now.
So, Mata, are you saying we should go that route where even if it's a 50-50, the guy can come back, or you can come instead? Because 14 against 15 in good rugby, it's a definite win.
Not always.
Not always.
But I'm feeling Lunga's point a bit is, and one thing that I forgot to emphasize last week, then now your defensive coaches have to earn their money, because these are the rules. It's like rules of life or rules in the road and stuff like that. If the rules are in, Now it's up to the defensive coaches to say, okay, cool, this is what we're training the whole week. Because if you look at, I was pretty irritated with the ladies' yellow cards and whatnot. But now when you look at it from a coaching perspective, it's up to the defensive coach. And I wanted to bring it up last week. If you see Jock Fury on the side of the field last week before they left, the way they're going crazy, the terminology, what he's coaching them. You guys spoke about who's a prop, Shabagan.
Yeah.
50 tests.
Nice.
But if you run into his channel, his technique in terms of he's a tall kid,
Yeah.
or he's a big kid, but of going down and the tackle technique, and that's training. Them not getting a yellow card. So let's reward teams like that who do the right things.
I've seen Ruggs so kneeling on his knee to make a tackle.
get low.
Yeah, to make sure that he's low. He's low.
To abide by the rules.
To abide by
The
the rules.
evolution of the game in terms of just the rules. Remember when we played, the spear tackle was still legal.
Yeah.
Right? If you do that now,
WWE.
if you do that now, you'll be banned for like a year, right? But the game has evolved and players have changed. You see now when guys do have a rush of blood to the head, they still bring the guy back down because they've learned the rules and they understand that this you can do and this you can't do. Player safety is, I think our biggest issue for my side is the rules. Like you said earlier, everything is a yellow now.
Yeah.
That's the problem for me. I think we need to go back and redress the rules in terms of what constitutes dangerous play. What's the high degree? Because at the end of the day, we all say this: it's a contact sport. So at some point, guys, we're not always going to be able to get down here completely at every single thing. There's got to be some leeway.
A rugby incident. What happened to a rugby incident?
Because it happens. Right? You're cleaning out. Like you're going in to clean somebody, right? This person is at this position. You're coming in at this position. Unless you go in there and grab a neck roll, I understand. That there's intent there. A neck roll has intent. But the other stuff, we've got to figure out a way to make it go, this is fair, this is slightly bordering on the edge, and this is clean cut, just dangerous play. So I think the rules for me are more paramount in terms of what you've got to look at, as opposed to saying it's the player's fault, it's the referee's. Because the ref can still look at something, go and look at it in slow motion and go,
But one rule I flip and thank God, what did they let go? Remember, I know this year, it must have been beginning of this year, where they said that leading with the head. So now there's a responsibility of, they had the video in Boxmart, you also do it. If you're the ball carrier and you lead with your head, you were penalized because it's your responsibility. Jeez, it was the most stupid, and when I say stupid, I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's
but as a rugby player, you see it
so
week in, week out.
difficult, yeah.
The guys, top of my head, I'm thinking KK 5 meters out, they lose the ball as well. But he catches a ball. What else can you do? You have
Borrow.
because as well, when you're upright and you hit his head,
You will see your ass.
do you get what I'm saying? He hits you. One, you'll get concussed, but he'll get a yellow card as well. So what are you supposed to do? They teach you to dip, get into that little pocket there, into the gap there. Then, it's an evolving game.
Right?
No, the fair pen, the only thing that I agree with is I don't think the 20-minute red card should be a thing. I don't.
think it should.
You think they'll be out and out?
I think if you're out, you're out. Red card, because the thing is, right, the 20-minute red card now makes it go, you can have 10 players on the field at some point. Because the yellow card is 10 minutes, the red card is 20 minutes, you're bringing on a sub. What are we trying? The Bulls finished the game with 12 players. Did it?
12, yeah.
Yes, how confusing was that game? Did you check? Even the ref is like, no, let's stop. Let's do. Then one of the kids like, no, Locke just walked off. We took him out. Then the ref, no, wait. But like he even ignores him. But like it's one of those things. Do you think it can be used as a tactic?
Yeah.
Where guys like, listen, that guy's a problem.
Yeah,
let's just take him out.
Let's get him out. Because it goes back to how Zola started this thing to say, like the diving, the playing for penalties, let's call it that, right?
Australia
like
did it.
diving, yeah, Nick White, right? Like he tried it and the ref was like, dude, don't even, right? But it could become something that happens in the game. And I'm just afraid that, if players grow up thinking that that's a tactic, it's going to get used and it's going to take away, because rugby is a very physical game, right? And the physicality is one of the hallmarks of how the game is played. So now if any contact ends up being a yellow, then
Yes.
might as well be American
You're
football.
gonna have
Let's just
those.
block.
You're gonna have those soft like these. Go ref,
And that's what I don't want, right?
Yeah,
Where
so-
everyone's pandering to the
So I
ref.
don't. You know, if you check the second yellow card that we got, it's a yellow card with the girls. But you check the Italian girl, it's like,
Trust.
You're like, what was it that?
Trust. Trust.
It's like, you're
so
like, are
obviously
you
now,
short?
boys, let's get to business. So we know exactly what to talk about when there's no rugby on the. We have a full show just on the rules.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna just finish those
No,
ones
guys.
first.
Oh, okay, left and then right.
Devil.
I got you.
Devil. Okay, boys. Let's get to
Right, let's
business.
do it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our show, Mapantsula Rugby. Sibuyile mthakathi. Kamala Uzola, my guy. For a jam-packed show namhlanje. We're gonna go on. We're gonna talk about the ladies in Cape Town. Cover everything go RC. And yes, and I'm there to number 4 too. To my far right, your left, E2, our resident coach. In France, they call him E2.
Me too.
How's it, boy?
Salut. Bonjour. Thought I'd throw it out there. That's all I know.
Yeah, as you can see, there's no Leon today. We replaced by Shan Gandal, the looter, the king of smash and grabs.
Yeah, I think
Lunga Mbata.
it didn't work this weekend, brother. It didn't work this weekend.
King of smash and grabs. Okay, boys, let's get to it. The crowd was great again. Sunny. We lost to Italy 29-19. It was so nice just to hear, man. Even Ostransky pronouncing the names, the close. Like it was like it was a good vibe. I think immediately when we scored the first try, I actually thought, we're gonna give them a 50. But then like when the yellow cards came in, and then they started coming back into the game, and it was really like a nice advert of the game. And I want to start with you, Lungas. You mentioned last week on the comment section, you said something very nice. So, like I'll let you tell the viewers exactly what you said. You remember what you said?
Yeah. I think I was just shouting out you gents because as someone who's been a part of the production, with intimate knowledge of how far you've come in sort of just talking about women's rugby, and now with the spotlight being shone with WXV2 being in South Africa, I think it's great for the game. And what I wanted to highlight was we should just regulate our expectations. Right, because it's all good and well now. They're playing well. They're winning games. They're losing games that we're all turning around and saying they should have won. But obviously, success breeds more success, and the expectations kind of go up. But I think we should just sort of just minimize our expectations and look at a long-term plan. Just baby steps in terms of what we expect from the Springbok women's side. Obviously, the next step would be WXV1. Obviously, because I mean, I was like, they lost to Italy by such a small margin, and we were all gutted for them. But if you look at it, they're 0-3 against Italy, but I'm pretty sure that was the closest result that they've gotten playing against Italy. So happy for the way the game's going, but we've also just got to just rein it in terms of what we expect going forward.
Well, I'm taking over our part-time anchor. But Lungs, okay, cool. And I get it, and very true. What do you think should be our expectations? Because knowing South Africans, we want to win everything. We're all looking at this World Cup. What do you think should be?
I think you've got to take a step back and look at where we were last World Cup, and then you set goals based on that, right? We shouldn't expect to make the World Cup final. We shouldn't take the Springbok men's success and equate it to the Springbok women's success because now the games are on TV. These ladies have been playing rugby for a very long time without the recognition of the general public. And yes, the pressure now comes with being a name in the game and having played locally, there's an expectation. But I think our expectation should be getting out the group stages, right? Like simple things, attainable things, because you also want to set expectations that are this high. And when you come back and you go, well, the mission wasn't a success. I think it's unfair to them. And the progression of the women's game overall, to say you expect them to go from WXV2 to World Cup semifinals in the space of a year. I think that's the simple explanation would be their goal should be winning enough games to get out the group stages, and then anything from there is a bonus.
That's a very good point that you just said now. So also, Rags, going back to exactly what you said last week, I think with what you said about the game, we could see it from
The passion,
the passion, and also now I'm going, hey, December in women's rugby. I need to be just as serious as this. And also people that watch the show was like, oh man,
We're actually missing
yeah,
something.
we're missing out a lot. We're missing out a lot. Yes, we lost by 3 points. Take us through the game. What happened? Like, when's it going to do? Like, you know.
No man.
And thank you for last week. That was really good, man. That was really good. Yeah.
And it's one of those things, a good team. Really impressed last week with certain players, but then you move on next week and they unearth another player. That right winger we were speaking about, Rumapeng.
Yeah.
There's something there, man. Raw still,
Yes.
but nice and strong. She did what I love in all wingers.
Yeah. Don't get tackled.
I mean, a wing sits on the on the touchline the whole day. If you get tackled out, I think you're a crap wing. But like, that's my theory. The boys will tell you,
line
good as soon as you get tackled out, I'm like, okay, what? Okay, no, wait, come, sit here. Let's try. No, you're a right wing, so that touchline when you come in, you see it the whole day.
Yeah.
You getting tackled out there. I'm like, listen, are you a or something? Okay, yeah, cool. But she comes back lacquer and she's still raw. Nadine Ruiz. I speak about her, but we don't give her flowers. She's actually a clever rugby player.
Oh, yeah?
I was interested. Lunga even said now, Guti,
She doesn't have a team
she doesn't even have a team.
currently.
And you said the more, and this is what I want us, we'll speak about it, where the women's game is going to, or where it should go to, kind of thing. Nadine Ruiz knows rugby. The ball in two hands, I love that. She's always looking around, trying to find something. As well, playing sevens. Because you can see there is sevens.
Sevens
I mean,
elements, yeah.
you put her on 10, 15, she plays scrum off a bit, because the
finished
scrum
the game
off.
at scrum half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it was one of the, she's a clever player, she's a baller. And that's one thing about her. Unam Tose, when she came in,
Yeah.
she was brilliant again. I like her. I genuinely like her pass. I don't know what it's saying about all the guys that I coach, but yeah, she's got a beautiful pass, man. Her basics, man. I'm a coach. Every time I look at guys, she was brilliant. And in terms of, I saw the new hooker that they had, Ukwala, the one that started now. And gents, we're building depth, and I think that's what the coaching staff for SA Rugby is trying to do. They're building that depth within, and we can talk about what's in the country. Are there structures? Are there teams? Do players have to go overseas and make it there? Because obviously you spoke about the tier 1 countries. The English league is.
I know Lacha is also playing in Harlequins.
I think both clubs play overseas.
Yeah, Lacha, yeah.
Carter
there's
Jacobs.
another-
Carter Jacob. Carter, can I tell you an interesting story about Carter? Well, Carter was at UJ. I think she was doing rowing. Then they said, no, man, you got brilliant technique or physique. Come try rugby. Then I think she went to a tournament or something. Then Tux spotted her. Then all of a sudden, Tux student, and hey, the rest is history. But like, do you get what I'm saying, Guti? And this is where now I wanted to get into, Guti. What do you think our game has to do? What do we have to do? Do our players have to go overseas? Then if they go overseas, what happens to our local league or the league that we have in terms of the Currie Cup?
It's a combination of both, because you can't have, if you look at how many Bulls players are in the team and how many Border players are in the team. When those ladies aren't in that setup, who's playing there? So it's a combination of both. Yes, we need to strengthen the entire talent base, but those players who are at a higher level right now, I don't think it could hurt them to go overseas for a season or 2 or maybe 3, because that opens up spaces for other players here. And if they go for, let's say, 2-3 seasons, when they come back, the value that they add in that setup is probably immeasurable. because now they're rugby professionals now. It's not a pastime.
So-
They're living in the space, and that's the only way you can build your talent pool.
So
Have
look-
more players play.
Looks also again, if by Amba, who's going to replace them? Because if you think about it, there's only one sport that's a big hitter in world stage, which is Iraq. It's all guy in Zealand. You know why? Because Iraq is a school win. Iraq is a school win. Get those girls at 6. You were telling us your kid.
Mr. Mankai.
Yeah,
Brilliant, man. Great
but
point.
No,
actually.
no,
Never
no, but-
thought of that. I've
yeah,
never actually
but
thought
it's,
about it.
like, it's easy to say because there's no money. But then even when girls in primary school,
It started.
yeah,
It starts
yeah,
at under 9.
Yeah,
it starts at under 9.
Yeah, with girls in primary school, make sure
Biliki rugby.
and make sure you put it for goals. You make sure you put it we season where it doesn't affect netball.
Netball, yeah.
In netball, and then exposure of these goals on TV. If we have Vela on TV, like, oh, I can actually play rugby like my brother. I can be the next monate type of thing. But as a goal, but you did say about there was the Cravenic that they had at JP. So if you corner a younger system throughout, oh, dude, his structures are like, and is a fun exec like Iraq. It's okay. It's just you gamble.
There's too many.
Besides that, it's not Ayiko Skolwen. There's like it's there, but they play like there's no Gauteng champions. Where no one can. You guys are the yeah. But then think about it. Like if nobody goes, like back then we unearthed the 96 team because Jomo had to go around throughout the country to go find those players. But now there's no Jomo. If your father doesn't have money to pay extra lessons, the soccer at a club, then you're screwed.
Then
You Uzodlala papandla.
And Zed, you saying that actually just hit me now. Guti, they can play with the boys in terms of Guti tag rugby from under 9s. In every Afrikaans school there's biliki rugby. You know.
Look, the systems are there, but I think we're going too far too soon, right? For me, how I see this is, where's rugby at its most passionate space? High school. High school, right? You need to start getting the girls that are in high school now. Because if you're looking at the talent pool for this box setup to continue, you've got to be focusing on older girls. I agree with you. The juniors are for a long-term thing, right? But if you go, I don't have the stats on hand, but if you go look at the ages of that box team, how many players will be there in 5 years, right? So you've got to be looking at teenagers to fill that space in the next 5 to 6 years. And that's how you grow your talent pool. And that structure starts at high school, right? I don't know what the dynamics are of girls' high school rugby is, but for me, that's what you should be looking at now. There is already under 9 rugby at primary school for
That's
girls,
good,
right? So they can grow with it, but that talent pool is 9 now. In 10 years, they'll be 19. I'm looking at the
That's
next
cool,
5
yeah.
years, right?
Yeah, and I'm with
because
you.
there's a World Cup coming up,
In 10 months.
and the next one,
What
where
happens
those
after
people going to
that?
be, right?
Do you let it go until the next?
You don't
yeah.
let it go until 2 more cycles. You try and pump the people into the system now, so you have longevity. You don't want short-term success, right? You want
Long term.
You want
yeah.
long-term, and that's how girls are going to start playing the game if they see.
You have to have a vision.
They have to
for
have a
it.
vision because you look at the women's cricket team, right? Like when they played that final at Newlands in their T20, the stadium was packed. And that was because they'd seen them for a long time playing, losing certain games, winning certain games, but the consistency was there, and they've always blooded in younger players. I mean, you
the
get a
T20.
22-year-old playing their 50th test. You're like, wait, 50th T20 Gante, how long? But they've been there since they were 17, 18.
How much you guys? Gated Mackenzie. So our sheet numbers and how much just on the comment section so that all the ideas, they're coming with brilliant ideas, yeah? So Uba Faunele and everything. Okay, boys, that was really good. I'm gonna move over to ERC. So we're gonna start with the Davies as an island. Coach, you're gonna take us through like what did you see? Like what was exciting? I see the stadiums were packed. The Gumnani was like, do they move to bigger stadiums? When they play against each other, and then when they play overseas teams, then they move to the local grounds. What happened? Because I saw the Munster LEINSTER was packed, 82,000 something.
That's a new ground, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, is it a new ground for them?
I think they renovated it.
Oh, yeah?
Record ULC record in terms of the number of people there. And Lunga, who were talking about it, actually not arguing, but differing. I thought the Ulster Connacht game was more had more spice in it. Obviously, the Munster one, I thought Munster went in it. First 20 minutes, 3 tries. That's jep, and you're already on the canvas, before you even start. And Leicester they were a better team. We always, and one mistake that I forgot to hop on about last week, and one thing that you said when Curry Cup was on, would see there were too many tries. But have you seen now that the defensive systems, gents, the defensive coaches are actually working? Because guys, it's we spoke about the cards. Guys, their techniques are better. Who will speak about the Sharks? That's as soon as you don't have that first phase or you don't have those ball carriers, if they've been driven back, then that's a win. So the team that's actually winning, they always speak about what the defense actually wins you cups. The attack, that's a fairy tale kind of things. That's all that. But defense, actually, that boring stuff that you see guys working hard for each other, getting off the canvas, the double hits, the chats. It was nice to see, and I thought that Ulster Connacht game 32-27. That was a brilliant game, and obviously the game everyone says game of the week. Munster LEINSTER had a lot of heart in it. RJ, everyone was after RJ.
With one-handed take, yes.
He was.
Yeah, that was
He's an athlete, man.
But he scores a try, but he's already smiling. He's he's ready to. He's already smiling.
The derbies were good. I can't agree or disagree with which one was game of the week. But what I did pick up from watching those 2 games is it makes sense why this current Irish team is so strong. Because they
local.
look, New Zealand is sitting there losing their minds, right? Because all those guys play in Ireland, which they can't see.
Yeah.
So all those guys play in Ireland, and the strength of their teams, because they've got so few players, is very high. And those teams don't fear one another. I think that's a very important thing to look at in derby games to go. On any given day, these 4 teams can all beat one another.
Yeah.
And if they're all playing at a significantly high level, that only bodes well for the national team, right? And I think that's why I found, you're right, game of the week is the Ulster one, because I didn't think that Munster would give up so quickly. Because at some point it just looks like they were punch drunk towards the end and they just had no answers for them. And I thought, big game, people that you genuinely dislike and you want to beat, they would have thrown a little bit more heart to the end, but they didn't. I think they just gave up.
And the nice thing about it, sorry, Zed.
Yeah.
And yes, it's great point when you say one thing. Irish rugby, you can see they've said, okay, cool, we're this little island. How can we island? How it just hit me now. Like, oh. so they've said, okay, with the little that we have, how can we make it better? Because if you see the number 10 that started this game came from the Leinster Academy. So all these guys, they're teaching them the basics, and they're big boys. They're big boys. They're not what we have like in South Africa in terms of things don't come naturally to them, man. But their basics are brilliant. A ball in the air, how they carry, how they clean, they chats in there. So, and what they do as well as a whole country. It'll come back to RJ's thing, and I saw that John or Clayton or whatnot, our lock as well is there. And Bodie Barrett is going to be joining the Munster side, as a man, or Leinster side, he's going to be joining the Leinster side. They, at key positions, bring in the expertise. And the expertise, I'm guessing they do it like Japan and whatnot, whereby someone is going to learn. There's a youngster that's going to be learning from that international player.
Oh, that's good.
Or that international player in 4 years' time is going to be. Do you get what I'm saying? It's everything is centralized. It's for the greater good, but at the same time within those provinces, because I'm guessing Connacht and Ulster are the smaller. In terms of money wise, you get what I'm saying?
Get the big boys.
But as he said, as Lunga said, on any given day, someone will shock you, and you see the passion. They say hate, but it's that thing when I always say, about Wits University. We love them. we love them so much. We just want to bring the best out of them. You know, that's why on Derby Day we just we go full out for it. You know, so they show their love on Derby Days. They really show their love, and that's one thing I love about, and that's where maybe even in the women's game or nationally, what probably Rusty brought in here, which, okay, guys, let's work together as a country. What is our main goal?
Yeah.
It's the Irish side.
I have a thing that just came into my head now. Like you speaking to your point of how they go forward, right? I'm thinking of all the under 20 World Cups you watch, right? Ireland consistently have decent teams at that age group, right? And I'm thinking of their rugby setup. They don't have a curry cup type thing. They've got URC, I think, and they've got club rugby.
And the academies,
and that gap is big, right? So I get the whole thing with bringing in players at key positions to grow the players. But I'm thinking of another thing that we can do for women's rugby in the Southern Hemisphere. Didn't we just have the first under 20 Tri-National Rugby Championship this year? Ladies one. I don't mind New Zealand winning it for 4 or 5 seasons, but how much better is our team going to be?
Yeah, the
if
exposure.
They play Australia, New Zealand, Argentina every year. They know they've got those 5 games to play every year outside any other test commitments. They're gonna get better.
That's a very good point.
It's something that we should think about.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. I'm gonna move over to Bennington versus Sharks. Coach, you mentioned
Lunga.
but it was the first game.
Lunga, over to you, Lunga.
So, Coach, you also mentioned something about the defensive coaches are really earning their money, like throughout. Because I don't know, like the game was dead until the 23rd minute, and the Sharks didn't score a try. Like the game was done, and then they scored a try. Then they scored a try. It was so nice though to see the crowd in Bennington, like Sharks fans there as well.
We are everywhere.
Yeah, I know you guys are everywhere. Guys,
Running away from-
Uriano Smith, how old is he now? Like, isn't
30,
like if
30,
Italy,
no, 30, isn't he?
if Italy
early
was
30s?
smart, Benzam converted for the next World Cup.
But it's
old now.
one of
he's
he's
actually better
rugby
than-
old, isn't
He's
he?
rugby old.
He's rugby old, yeah.
Yeah, but like so they've been losing, innit?
Yeah.
Then now all of a sudden, and it comes back to one thing, their attitude, man. And here we can go. I saw Plum's interview afterwards, post-match interview, where he said, listen, they were a bit maybe tired and lethargic. They actually did try. It'll be like the Stormers game. They'd get to the 22, then all of a sudden there'll be a turnover or less cleaner. Someone would knock on. So it's not. I think Benetton just wanted it more. Yes, the crowd. You speak about the defense in terms of good. See, they were hit back. They main ball carrier.
Attitude.
Vincent was hit back so many times and stuff. When Money came in. Manu as well.
Didn't work.
It's one of those things, and gents, this is what I'm loving now about this competition, that on any given day, there's a team that can actually beat someone. Zebra beat Munster. Benetton now, there could be an argument, good, maybe the Sharks are tired, 3 weeks on tour and stuff like that. 5 weeks on tour.
Curry Cup.
And the 2 Curry Cups.
The Curry Cup.
Yeah, man. That was their
I have
preseason.
not been sleeping at all.
Yeah.
So you think that also could be like a major part of this whole fatigue and
Nah, I'm being a little facetious when I
Yeah.
say that they had the 5 weeks. But look, because we watch this game so much, you forget that there's a lot. That 80 minutes is not as much time as you think it is, right? You said it perfectly. 20 minutes, nothing, right? In the last 20 minutes of the first half, Benetton came out and scored like 3 tries. And then the first 10 minutes of the second half, they came and scored another 2 tries. Game was done.
Yeah.
Game was done. So for a good 40 minutes, the Sharks were on even footing.
Brilliant game.
But every time, Rugg said it perfectly, every time they got into scoring positions, you could see that those guys, like defense is about attitude, right?
Big time.
And that's got to be your key driver in terms of going, you will not go forward. And a lot of the mistakes the Sharks made, you could call mistakes, but some of them were forced. Because those guys were tackling
pressure.
and putting pressure on them at the breakdown. So I know watching the Sharks now that if Masuku comes off, the game's done.
So,
If they're one Korea, they've given up. Like, nah, we good.
but also,
He did well when he came in. He tried,
Yeah,
like I
I
thought.
think he got
But also-
concussed at the end as well.
Yes, he ball in the air. He
but
actually
also,
for
if
all
Masuku is not having a good game, does that mean the union is done?
Not necessarily, but Ruggs summed it up. The defense, go forward. If Andre is not giving you
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that go forward, then you're going to struggle, right? Because it's simple. If your 12 can't give it to you, then 7 and 8 must do it for you. But they couldn't either,
do it as well.
right? So they've got no momentum gained.
For sure.
And a lot of the tries that Benetton scored, I think 2 of them were turnovers and they ran at
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
right? And that's unstructured. And
sure.
Anything's possible. Anything can happen there, but you just got to run the right lines. That Reno Smith try on the change
Yeah,
lane
he's-
in the back line, that was a great try. But a lot of it was Sharks made mistakes and they conceded. Or they would, the most frustrating part for me watching in the second half was they'd get in their 22 or
And
on
lose
their
it right
5 minutes
there,
and
yeah.
lose the ball, right? And these guys will kick it 60 meters the
have
other
to
way
come
and
back,
go
yeah.
score.
And the head down.
And that 50-22, where
Oh,
they
yeah.
all just fell asleep, I'm plumb, I'm losing. all
He was
kinds of composure.
irritated.
Because you, come on.
He was irritated. You could
That's primary school. Like, you know the rules. And the ref said it. 50-22, they all stood there.
That's
Guys,
crazy. Like,
like
yeah, but little to time because Nyan, last week I was watching the Lions play against Edinburgh. Those guys, they looked like they were missing home. Bafiga, back home now in the capital.
attitude.
Different team. Different team. The first half, yes, Thomas against Edinburgh was like a game of 2 halves in one. Because the first, there was nothing happening in the first 16 minutes, but they were at us. They were at us, but they were patient. But the attitude, though,
But defense.
they started scoring. They started scoring tries, and then Tina, when our tails were up, we rushed into things and we tried to. Yes, we scored a few tries. The one try that was disallowed, and that was the end of the game for us. Yaphela pa came in. Yaphela pa. Come and put me half time and that's it. But also again, it's been 3 weeks for us, not 5 weeks.
Yeah.
But I think it's cumulative. Look, everybody wants to go home. The attitude is different.
But you just said it as well. In terms of, I mean, you see, there was a clip, Jamie Ritchie, just making a tackle, getting up. The numbers that they had, Guti. So if you see with us, the guy that's carrying ball carrier, then probably 2 guys that are looking after him. Jamie Ritchie makes that tackle, he gets up. So he's the only one that was in that tackle, he gets up. So we've committed, and when I say we, Stormers have committed 3 guys there. One the guy that's tackled, he's
the
up on
one,
his
yeah.
feet and getting off the line. And Stormers are talented, gents. It's you see it. Boogeyman.
Yeah.
They were doing that whole Boogeyman 10-15,
Yeah.
just playing. It wasn't coming off. Willems, I think, dropped a couple of balls.
Yeah.
And it's going to get better. And that's the worst thing about it. Would let them, as quick as possible, come back home
Yep.
to something that they're comfortable with. I'm sure the Stormers crowd will come out and get a couple of wins
bet.
behind them.
Yeah.
It's,
Like you said, it didn't work out. That whole 10 it didn't work out. You could tell that he wants to do a lot. Like it's starting. He wants to do a lot.
but he was doing it.
Yeah, he wants to do a lot, but he's got the energy and everything. But I think also sometimes you just, because I think you've just hit your form. Just pick your.
It'll come.
Yeah, it will come. It will come because he was doing a lot, but then he was just not coming off. But I love to see that Warag. That's
it.
my favorite
He
Warag.
breaks, but he was breaking. He
that's
breaks
the
the dummy. Then he puts it on his foot.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not, and this is the weird thing about, it's not that they stop playing. It's like the Sharks as well. It's not that the guys weren't trying to run through that brick wall. It's just that the brick wall was.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, and it's the most irritating thing, if it doesn't have, I saw Plum's face. If it's not if it's not happening, you just, and that's the worst thing because halftime,
I'm
and
ready.
you spoke about, and I forgot about, I was trying to find the actual word. The word is time square. So the legendary big team back in the days, you know, the team that
Yes,
won.
With Rudolph and
So they used to, Matt Proudfoot was coaching that side.
yeah.
They
Lolo.
used to, Lolo, PS but they used to have this thing about time square, where first 10 minutes of a game, the last 10 minutes of the first half, first 10 minutes of the second half, the last 10 minutes. That's where you actually have to pick yourself up. And they used to have a call, man. It was the most irritating thing. But they'd have a call, then everyone, Times Square. But like, that was a reminder to the rest of the team, go to, okay, guys, let's just pick it up. And they'd pick it up for those 4 sessions. And if you score in there, in those little Times Squares, you actually win in the game. Because that middle part it's that lull, kind of part. So, and you said it now. If you score in those first 10 minutes, you just like the Munster game.
Yeah.
Then you sit back. Same thing with the Bulls. Couple of tries, first couple of minutes. Okay,
I don't
gents.
think we've got enough time for the Bulls to talk about it. So you-
To talk. Leon is not here. The Bulls won. Moving on.
No, it's their one.
What?
But another thing I wanna understand is, so as fans, right? Do we tolerate these Jekyll and Hyde performances from these teams when they go overseas? Because you're good one week, terrible the next week. Maybe terrible is a harsh word, but like the up and down nature of it, is this something? Because how long until the fans start moaning and the moans are relevant? Because I'm going, yeah, the Sharks didn't do that well last week. They won, but I mean, it wasn't the most convincing performance. This week, you're like, yes, guys.
So
like,
also-
what are you doing here? And at what point is there cause for concern? Or like, what do you like? Pause for cause and go, I don't know if this is working. Is it the competition? Is it the travel? Because I can't blame the travel. These guys are from Super Rugby. Super Rugby traveling was more gruesome than this.
Yeah, but then also you can't be that naive and say, listen, we're going in Europe and we're playing 3 games, we've got to win all 3 of them.
That's fair.
You know? But also, why other countries coming here and playing 2 games behind, whereas Tina Sipa
Schedule.
for Inyanga Yong, like Inyanga, that's also
That could be a question
thing,
as well.
And guys, also this thing of having, you know what they must do? They must take one coastal team and inland and tour. We started having one team because you remember those options we had, but okay,
Just
say
go to the
Loftus,
game.
Damsaje, why say Ellis back? Nothing this weekend, like okay.
You have to watch soccer.
You
You're
know?
getting excited. You're
You should
getting
actually
excited
be
about
smart.
Bafana Bafana.
You should actually be smart.
Fine.
Because now everybody's gone. So at least man, have one team here and let the other coastal team travel with the inland team. There's many options, guys. Like Saturday was boring.
Could be much worse.
They could not be played. They could not be played.
Yeah.
And Gents, I want to point out one thing, and we spoke about the Bulls winning. I think Ambrose Papier,
Oh yeah.
Gents, there's scrum offs that are just walking around. We blessed for days, and that was a good win. Just confirmed even now. Just check at me, right? The score the wrong way around. The Lions just won now.
Oh,
Full-time
yes.
score,
I bet you if
23-19.
they'd lost, you wouldn't have confirmed.
No, never. I would have kept quiet. But like, they're the teams. Okay, you can say they're the teams on form, or had a good home.
Yeah.
Maybe starting off at home.
Yeah.
Those two home kind of things.
Yeah.
Home wins. Then going on tour. Then as well, now it comes back to your thing, Guti. The Sharks, did they have an easy or hard tour?
Oh yeah, there's that.
There's that as well, Guti, where you plan out, Guti, okay, guys,
During Wales, Italy.
nothing against them.
Yeah.
I'd have zebras, the zebra,
Very
scarlets, go to Wales, and yeah, you get what I'm saying? And because I saw the Glasgow zebra game. Yes, it's Glasgow Warriors, gents. They're a team that knows their DNA, that knows their players. They playing well. They're in a fucking good space. They're a happy team. So imagine getting that team first go on tour.
Okay, so the Bulls and the Lions won, right? And Stormers and the Sharks lost. It's not completely strange for me to say this, and it's going to be a compliment towards the Bulls. I'm going to struggle.
Towards the Bulls.
Yeah.
I thought that 2 minutes was enough.
The Bulls and the Lions have one thing in common right now, and Coach will tell me if I'm wrong. They are both team-orientated structures, and the Sharks and Stormers are player-orientated structures,
Jeez.
right? Because you expect a boogeyman at the Sharks or a boogeyman at Stormers to do something for you, right? You want like I said, I can point them out. Like Estesian isn't getting you over the line. Vincent is getting you over the line, so the team struggles. James Venter didn't have a bad game, but didn't have a good game. You can always pull out the individual that you expect to do stuff for you.
Yeah.
With the Bulls, it's the system works. Doesn't matter who's there. The Springboks are there. They're not there. It works, and the Lions do it now. Like they had a 10 playing a 9 playing 10.
10.
And then they had a 9, and then they had a 9 who plays 10 on the bench to cover for both of them, basically, right? What team does that, goes overseas and wins, and you tell me that it's about the players, it's about the system, right? Because it works. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do,
Yeah.
and they come in and they do it. Doesn't matter which 23 you send out, everyone has an assignment and they do it, and that's how they win. Their DNA is, this is the system and it works. And if they lose the game, they don't lose by much.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of it is working, and with these teams that can fall apart, we're so quick to count off the superstars, right?
Yes, that's exactly what we did.
So quick to count them off and be like, yo, this team, did the team play badly? Yes, the whole team played badly because they got boat raced. Look at the scores, 37-10, 38-7.
7, yeah.
Right? But we are so quick to not go, it was a bad team performance. We're looking for people. If the Bulls
Or
lose,
even
if
the coach.
Bulls lose, who do you blame? Jake's the one there holding the candle going, well,
That's crazy when I go that what you say, because that's exactly what the Springboks are doing.
Team.
Whoever's playing
Team.
fits in the team, and we expect this from when, and you just like So we only these coastal teams.
Yeah,
that
the coastal teams are living their beach boy life. They're like, yo, it's about to surf in the sunshine.
No, that's a very good point, Lunga. Also, guys, I think also the bull side was just fresh, ready to, like, they were pouncing on everything. That all the scraps, they were just going for them. Like, they looked good the first half before the discipline started creeping in.
Papir, the red card, the Creole, Marcel Coutier, gents, we always week in, week out, we always talk about Ruan Nokia. He's just a crafter. Ludwig, I don't know where that kid comes from, but like the Bulls keep on. They've got these kids that just, yes, they're kids, but they come there. They are so prepared. They add something else. When Cameron Heinekom comes on, I think the everyone wanted to say, please stay in Wales. Yeah. You know, they like he came on, the turnovers that he makes, crucial turnovers, and where everyone is like, yo, if this guy is sitting bench, and we crying for him, and it comes back to that whole thing, and I take Lunga's point in terms of Wuting. The Bulls, it's about the systems, it's about the team. Jake always talks about the club, which is hard. You know, I grew up union. Yeah. He talks about the club. Where does the club want to go to? The Lions, the players. I saw some article now with that Horn, our 8th man, that he still dreams of becoming a Bok. And gents, yes, but do you see the other 8th mans or Lucy's that he's standing behind?
Yeah.
That is a proper dream. But the kid wants to stay here, made the Lions a bit better, you know. And they all, it's team oriented, and I don't know, because they've got good coaches. We can't say Dobber's a bad coach.
Yeah.
We can't say Plummer's a bad coach.
No.
So I think they just have to fix. The team has to fix itself, kind of thing, you know. So and maybe at home it'll be better.
What's also crazy, because I could listen to you speak about rugby, because Gogo, you just mentioned Marcel Coutier. I think a week ago, I was itching and moaning and going like, why is Jake playing all his bidding balls? We're supposed to rest these people. And then you were like, but they still go overseas. And when they go overseas, they're going to start playing guys like Marcel and all that. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking? And now it proved.
He's actually thinking, and we speak about depth, and everyone talks depth. I saw that thing because now I'm on. Yes, that thing is addictive on Instagram. But like, you keep on now understand why those kids, because you be talking to kids, they're just flipping. They're just flipping. It's addictive. But then I run through this whole. It's a picture by S.A. Rapia, in terms of the depth and everyone in their position, and. Yes, in the Lucy's, in the outside centers, Kenan Moody. That guy's got the Midas touch. That guy, it's like he's playing in the park. I can't believe how young he is. It's like he makes that one gap of Klaus try, and Klaus, yes, he's scoring tries for. Are they sure they want to
Risky.
let him go to Japan for that sabbatical?
Yeah, it's a sabbatical, it's fine.
But like, yes, but that kid is right place. But Kenan Moody makes that one try where he hits that, and they got great. If I was an Ospreys guy, and you talk about defense, there's always that one clown that's shooting out to make that spot tackle. But
You miss it.
but they come, that Springbok rush, everyone covers, then that one guy but Moody just sees that thing and they just really, he hits that gap, but that's class. That's, and they've got that depth. If they still got Lionel Mampu.
Here?
Foster.
Apiwe.
Creole can play everywhere. AP is still there as well.
You know, so it's crazy.
You see what Jake was doing.
So also like it's so interesting. Like look where Tata writes about where they like so and so. This is at number 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But you notice how many players who are double dabbing. Like what I can fit here, I can also fit here. I could be number 7 on this position, but however I'm number 2 on this position. It's good times.
It's those things that we spoke about, those hybrid. Someone was speaking about Creole. Guti, shouldn't he be a Bok? Because if you got him on the bench, Mone van der Berg, you spoke all our nines at the Lions can play in 9-10
And kick for
for
balls.
balls. Do you know what I'm saying?
Variety is the spice of life. Shout out to our friends at Buccaneers, Biltong and Dean. Appreciate the spread.
Yeah, at least now. Bro.
Because it's
Yo, is it Pelilo, bro?
I saw last week the play. I'm searching. I'm saying,
But then he realizes because he sits like this then. And then he realizes, but okay, Penny will go and then he moves.
what all the questions come this side?
Forget about this now.
but I think what you're saying, Rugs, is I think that's the path the game is taking now. In terms of for you to separate yourself in terms of the number of players that this country produces, genuinely good players. For you to get that second look, it's what else do you bring to the table? Space was saying earlier, it's about what have you done for me lately, right? So if you cover 10, 12, 15, you make the bench options a lot easier for selection purposes, and it's also just especially when you're touring and playing this many games. Right? You take a lot of guys, and if you've got a guy play 3 positions, you can afford to rest other people.
Ron Pino was before his time.
Yeah. 9, 10, 15.
And at Bok level. But it's so correct now, Guti, and I've always said it. You know, when you get a kid, then he pitches up, then what's your position? I'm a left wing. Just left. So you say, just try yourself out on no, left wing. You can't be a specialist player anymore.
Is it fair to say sevens actually helps with that?
You know, Russ? Yeah,
Skill-wise,
you know, Rusty said
skill-wise.
out of everybody, all the outside backs, it's only my pimps that said, I want to play 11. The rest of the guys are like, I don't care, coach. You can put me at 11, put me at
But that speaks to wanting to play. Because the level of competition is just that strong. You're like, yo, do you want to play or do you want to play where you want to play? I just want to play. Right? Like if that's how I'm going to get in, then so be it. I'll play 11, 13, just throwing in the line out, by any means necessary.
So guys, 2 out of 4. Last year it was a clean sweep, 2 out of 4 on tour. I think
That would have been good, yeah.
URC, our unions are at a very healthy. And the 2 guys that actually lost have been there for 3 weeks, guys. And they lost by a big margin. I know for a fact that DHL Stadium is going to be packed when they come in. And
Brilliant weather.
No, they're a fate.
No, Cape Town people support.
That I know.
Even Durban.
Even Durban is going to be packed, and it's good. It's good for the brand here, like we never see, and even now we're not the only one that's actually pulling in the numbers. Even if you look at Ireland, is it Gweli Stadium? And the viewership we have South Africa, it's crazy. So we're good.
Please follow Coach Ruggs as well as the show on all our social media platforms. We're on Twitter. We are on TikTok now. We're also on Instagram. So please, and also on our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share for all of our viewers. And Zola will respond to your comments.
Yes. Oh yeah. All my people will get back. All my people will get.
Well, as robots.
All my people will get you. But we really appreciate the comments, and also again, guys, if there's anything that you like us to change, also, and also you pick up that there's a lot of other small podcasts that are actually following us, and also just go through Manabuba follow Isha. If they grow, we also grow. It's really nice. Let's make this community cool, eh? And Ruggs, this is what you say, keep.
Oh, yeah. Brief you this time. So you Leon part. Okay, cool. Ke Mapantsula, ah?
Rugby.
And the A is not silent.
You must say Leon this Rugby.
Rugby show.
but,
Keep up until the rugby show.
Rugby, yeah.
And the A is not silent.
Where does he get that?
No. Also, we all got that thing. Me reading in Afrikaans, bro. People just sit back and say, no, please read for us.
I was so glad I gave that up. Because
What Afrikaans?
some of the things I used to hear, I didn't Zulu, right? But there was no Zulu in Holland. So I had to sit in
Had a free
Afrikaans.
period.
I had a free period.
You had a
every
free
time
period.
Afrikaans. The
I don't know how
things
you
I used to hear.
I don't know how you
Robertas.
This is hard. This is Erasmus is there trying to keep a straight face of these dudes. I'm like, I know.
No. Yes, the scariest part was reading.
I wanted
out
to
loud.
say, like, when I was introducing everybody, yeah, I'm Zola, and I'm here with these Zulu gents. I was like, but
Wow, we appreciate the love.
but he is not Zulu.
That one.
Shaka, he left. Shaka, he left the episode.
I was going to call it that, right?
Oh, man, jeez. Oh, Leon, I wonder when's unknown more. It's like I was watching your show with my son.
He's texting.
Yeah. It's like, how's the show, guys?
Yeah, he's texting.
Yeah.
Says, how's it going?
No, he's worried.
How do you think it went, Ruggs? Jeez, it's difficult to do. I had the show in my head. I had the show in my head.
9 points, bro.
I had the show. That was good.
Stuff that I've never thought about, you know. Because last week when I was watching the show, I forgot. Yes, geography gets crazy on the side of the field. And this is another thing. You can't have a sane, defensive coach.
No, they have to be-
Remember Jacques Ninaba back in the days? There's that
They
province.
They told him
the
to
province
tone
of-
down. They even said now,
Who
Jacques.
was that Welsh guy we had before, Jacques? With the box, he was also not entirely sane. He was
No,
also
you have to be crazy. You can't. To coach people to tackle him, hit him, get him with the head. You can't. You can't have a sane person and I saw him on the side of the field.
Off. No.
If you don't want to tackle, but now then it comes back to Western Province. It was sometimes you just feel
You were saying the junior Curry Cup side. It's like,
they came. They pitch. They're so cool, bro. I watch JP and then they're so cool. But the coastal teams are so. Even though the under 19s, the Western Province under 19 side. Man, they should have just sent points, man. They just
We'll email the
they-
points.
yeah,
We'll
man.
stay here in Cape Town.
But Cape Town people, and I'd love to go live at the coast and see it. Everyone has that swag about them. That Joburg, everyone's just.
There's no Joburg rush on the coast, and you can appreciate it in terms of like if you look at Durban, right? The CBD of Durban is actually quite close to the beach, right? And everyone works either in the CBD or just up the coast, and traffic is ridiculous. But everyone is like, we'll get there. We're not going to be late. We'll get there. We'll get there at 8:05. What's the boss gonna say? You know how far I travel. But like in Joburg, the life is. I can feel it when I'm in Durban. Like I don't drive unless I absolutely have to.
Because everyone's just.
Because I'm on that. Why are you taking so long? Right? Like it's orange. Come on, we can both get in. Nah. People are just like the guy will slow down, see the green, and he'll be like, it's gonna
indaba wenamba tuhleli kakhulu lapha eGoli.
And it's exactly that. How? How Saturday? How Saturday in this case? yini usefondini uMasimpiwe? uMasimpiwe akafuni sihleli nawe la ujahe. And you're like, nah, what the- no, awuhleli nje la. Yeah,
It's like Cape Town with clubbing, man. But it's like Cape Town with clubbing because the sun goes
Yeah, the sun
down
sets
late.
9, 10.
So they chilling 8 o'clock. Joburg Oaks dressed up. Let's go. Let's go. Cape Town. Yeah, Cape Town people are like, it's 8 o'clock. I'm like, yeah.
Let's go.
Doesn't the club close at 10?
I'll be drunk by now.
Yeah. Doesn't the club close at 10?
No, it's always funny because when I go see the Durban All Boys, like every time we get together, you can see, right? We all grew up together, but half of us live in Joburg and the other half stay
Now
in
the
Durban.
change now.
And you've got like 2 or 3 who went to like UCT and came back. Or like, nah, this is not this for me. Like, yo, we're meeting here. Okay, guys can't see it. We're 8. Joburg boys are there at 8 on the dot. Boys sitting, wait. Durban nights working a 9:15. 9 fair 8 nyampela. And it was serious, my friends. 8.
I hate that.
Well, it's fine. Wow. You're like,
Yo. No, but I hate the time thing.
9 now. I'm on my 3rd pair. Like, the night is going for me. And they're just like, no, so I will 11. Say, no,
But the
that's
time,
late.
the time thing is
Catch us
very.
this week on another episode of Uzalo.
No, but like the time thing. I hate that because that's my pet. Yo. It's if
Yeah, when you start doing push-ups.
yeah. I just but like then once in a while if I'm hungry, I hate that. But like now I understand it. Like the kids that are from your coastal schools or whatnot, and even when they pitch up, it's like, yes, why are you so? I'm like, boys, yay! Yeah, we're supposed to practice starts at 9. They said, yeah, it starts at 9. It's but 9:15 we're doing extras or put on your boots, and the boys do it. But like as well, that kind of culture, the soccer. I went down to our soccer team one time to check out their time's a myth. Time. We see no point restarting. They so
No, the irony is, right? You go to schools where things like this are prioritized. If you're late, if you're not dressed properly, if your hair is too long, like that code of conduct thing is real. And nobody wants to be late for school. But just it's outside those fences. Just let them go outside and it's like, yo, what? Nah, I will be there. I don't know how it makes sense, but it works.
I'm not so this bomb.
That's when I go to the Midlands.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yo.
Awesome numbers, but Ubani. I don't know, just bam, Lord. Australia, what is late, just try it.
Nomfazi oyi-1.
Manje sijabule ngoba wena uyajola awushadile wena uyajola edwa awumthathe ngani
so I'd suffer there.
I love it. I love it because I take it in small doses now.
Yeah. And then
it's
you eat them.
Because the one I love, they'll be like, nambulo lo ashata nekhalatala ngoba amtshela
Ukuthi kuyenzakala.
Amakhalada wadala.
kwazana makhala ahlanya labantu yabona ngamakuthi ahambe manje uzosukuma nje ngathi uyabuya.
Oh, man.
And then you get a phone call. Awusuhambile bese bese kumele ngihambe. Like, oh, hayi cellphone ikhala khulile. And they when you say